Hello friends and family, I hope you're all doing very well today on this glorious sunny day, walking in your truth, in your light. Personally, I feel a bit hoarse. I think something's trying to come to the surface. Not today though, got work to do. So today I'm talking about something that was really quite interesting. A friend and I were talking quite recently about the next chapter of our lives. She's at the tail end of a divorce, and of course I've recently become single. Yes, newly single. I sometimes forget that I'm a single woman. But we were talking about what we were prepared to do in order to bring new people into our world. Meet new people, have some fun, and all that kind of stuff. But we both concluded dating apps were a definite no-no. Definitely not organic enough for me. And for herself, we was watching it, ironically, we was both watching a program where there was some people on a dating app and it was like all about hookups, and we both were like, that's a no-no. So whilst we had a laugh about how the fun was going to begin and etc, and all the things we were going to possibly do, of course my Ghanaian ancestors weren't having any of it. They weren't going to allow me to get too excited with my options, not even for a day. They woke me up at 3 a.m. that night for a little chat. They said, "My dear, this is not for you." They basically advised me that, yeah, it's all exciting and fun and games for the moment, but hookups can block your spiritual blessings and your gifts. That soon took the short-lived smile off my face. I was like, I've worked so hard to become really comfortable with what I now see as my spiritual gifts and blessings. And, you know, the thought of becoming like a mere mortal again as a result of losing them was not really going to appeal to me. It's taken a lot to get to this place. I thought about the stakes and I thought, no, that's too much of a loss. They are pretty high, you know, especially if you've worked as hard as I have. But yeah, I started to think, okay, so therefore, what are some of our spiritual gifts that are in questions that we can potentially lose? I hear you ask. They are basically anything that is sent from the divine, basically. It can also be referred to as our abundance. Not just financial abundance, just things that brings abundance into our life, bring us quality things such as good luck, good fortune, always landing on your feet, the ability to talk things into existence, the ability to be able to manifest easily, you know, good relationships with people, things always working out for you, that kind of thing. There's a lot that, I suppose the list can go on, but those are the things that come to mind for me straight away. Also, it gives you the ability to create good friendship, good health, you know, help you to make great lifestyle choices that support you and anyone else that comes into your world. I would go as far as to say divinely guided relationships and relationships with your soul tribe and the ability to draw in your soul tribe. That's all your abundance. And of course, there's financial abundance. I mean, if you can think of anything else that you consider as abundance, that would be great. Just comment down below. It's not that the divine wants us to be without, nothing like that. It's all about us as individuals to take time for ourselves after things end. Relationship, friendships, really think back as to think about what you actually learn or what was the lesson was in that relationship, and also to determine what we actually want to create in our future, what we actually want to create. for each of us, we'll be able to eventually look back at the experience and think, where have we actually betrayed ourselves? Where have we not honoured our truth in order for someone else's to be more prominent and dominant? So therefore, for us to just move on to another situationship without determining what we've learned from the past experience is quite futile. We have to take the necessary time to learn about ourselves in the present and why our past actions actually took place. Why not take the time to do the inner balancing work? Because that will, in the long run, put us in great stead, obviously, for recognizing sooner what is and what isn't us. And it will also obviously help us break old patterns that we recognize that don't support us anymore. You can really determine how you see yourself in the future and make it happen. Co-create with the universe to make it happen. So nothing more than your team having your back, basically, so that you can break cycles of self-delusion, self-betrayal, that kind of thing. There might also be a need for a period of abstinence. Not because it's ungodly to have intercourse or anything of that nature. Listen, my team are just like me. They communicate in a language just like me. They say some things to me that just make me even blush. It's not because they think sex is ungodly. It's just so that we can purge the old energy, anything that doesn't support us. It's for us to spend some time with ourselves and learn who we are before we exchange our energies, possibly in vain. Listen, if I told you about some of the conversations I've had with my guide, you'd be like, whoa. But they've told me to tell you one thing. The divine has given us all the ability to fulfill our own urges. So therefore, we can all take matters into our own hands, pardon the pun, without putting it out to Tom, Dick and Peggy. So take it from me, there's nothing wrong with I have that on the greatest and the highest authority, trust me. But like most things, everything in moderation. If you exert too much sexual energy, it can have an effect on how productive we are on our day-to-day basis, how effective we are in pushing through our plans, making sure our goals are met. And, it's just about a balance. It's not about abstinence as in forever it's wrong. It's all about balance, people. But back to hookups. This is what I received. I am not passing any judgment on it as an individual. If that's your lifestyle, anyone that chooses to do that, it's up to you. We all have free will. But this is what I actually am just talking about, I received from my higher self. Anything that leaves you feeling less than after your encounter, in a state of confusion, keeps you stuck, doesn't bring you happiness, because some way or the other you're deceiving yourself to believe, maybe that what you're experiencing is more than it is, doesn't actually support your self-esteem, and therefore it's not really going to be good for you in the long run. That's what the divine told me. You'll be sending mixed vibrations to the universe, therefore they are unable to send you what you actually say you truly want. Let me give you an example. You're You're of the mindset that you don't ever meet men or women that want stable, quality relationships. But you have someone or two on the back burner whenever you want some. Oh, you know who to go to. So you're verbalizing one thing, but your actions are actually saying something, and that's how the universe would interpret it. You're probably saying to the universe vibrationally, I like to have pleasure whenever I want, and I'm happy to not be emotionally invested in somebody and for somebody to not be emotionally invested in me. But in your mind, you're thinking, I just can't meet any men or women that want serious situations. You can see there the disconnect. I mean, know what you want and do what you have to do to be a vibrational match to it, to attract it into your world. But by continuing to operate from a place of, short-term gratification, you're just going to simply be attracting more of what you're emitting, because like attracts like, as we keep saying. What you send out, you're going to most definitely get. What you exude, what you say, anything of that nature is what you're going to get back. That's what you're going to be vibrationally matched to. I know this firsthand because the lessons I'm being led to learn are exactly what I've just mentioned. Not in relationships, of course, but I know how important it is for my words and my actions to marry. I know who I am, I know what I'd eventually want, but one of the lessons I know I need to learn is patience. And I'm speaking about it generally across the board, across my life. So I'll interpret my situation, like most of the areas in my life, is what is meant for me will happen when it's meant to happen in divine timing. Am I ready for a full-blown relationship? Absolutely not. Have I learned from past lessons? Yes, but I'm still a work in progress. Most definitely. When I have learned what I need to learn, and I feel that things are aligned, I know that's when it's the right time. So I'm happy to keep myself occupied in other ways until then. I no longer measure my value by who's in my life or who's not feeding my ego with lovely words. I'm full. I feel full on my own. And that, my friend, sometimes is the only lesson that the universe is wanting for us to learn. Self-reliance and self-fulfillment. But of course, we have free will. We can do whatever we choose to do. But know this, just like most things, there is a cause and there is an effect. So everything has a consequence, so choose wisely. So yeah, that's that one. I really enjoyed having my conversation with my divine team on this subject. I hope it's useful to some of you out there. Our teams speak to us in ways that we're supposed to be able to relate to. So even though they made me blush a bit, I appreciate their candidness. So anyway, thanks for joining me for this one. If you liked it, please like, please share, and of course, subscribe for more of my musings. Until then, namaste, my people.